Here's your top NBA parlay for April 28th. I'm Eytan. Welcome to the GoldBoys community. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button right away. All right, we're going to use Odd Shopper here, find the best odds and all, but a lot of this is pretty straightforward to me. Let's start with the Bucks and Pacers. Here's what we know. We don't have Giannis. We don't expect Damian Lillard out there by any means. Now, all of a sudden, this thing is opened up to a double-digit point spread, right? So it's pretty safe to assume that neither of those guys will be on the floor, at least dressed for action. What does this mean? I'm not messing with the spread. In fact, that's probably the one that I would stay as far away from as possible. What I do think happens as a result of these injuries, the Indiana Pacers at home, mind you, finally get to control things on their own, finally get to push that tempo truly to the nature in which they want. They don't have Giannis clogging things up, and they certainly don't have a guy like Damian Lillard who can absolutely respond in kind with both pacing and buckets. So let's take a step back here. We know about the injuries. We know that Indiana's home. This is a really good opportunity right now to jump on the over. It's 216.5 that we found on DraftKings. This is where we want to begin. Tempo, scoring. And look, Milwaukee may get blown out of the building. Absolutely. But they're going to give up 150 in the process. And mind you, guys that are stepping in right now, not defensive stalwarts by any means. In fact, when you look at some splits and you look at what Indiana has been able to do, and it's not just all Pascal Siakam. We just saw that most recently. So this is just a great set of circumstances. I want to jump in on the over 216.5. That's my first leg here on DraftKings. All right, leg two coming up, but let me slide this in real quick with Odd Shopper. I'll give you 50% off just for taking a little sniff. A week, a month, whatever it is, take 50% off. There's a link below and use code LIVE at checkout. Another big night here. Last night for me, everything on Pickett is tracked from Odd Shopper. Every Odd Shopper bet is tracked on Pickett. So you can see this is absolutely something that's been working for me, and I want it to be able to work for you as well. Again, the code is LIVE, 50% off your first purchase, meaning week or month. Check it out. Just see what it's all about. You should already be here on GoldBoys, of course, the YouTube community, and you should already be on the goldboys.com and the Discord as well. We just want to slide that in there real quick. All right, let's look at this second game here, especially from the angle of the Suns. Not having Grayson Allen is huge here, not in the sense of, oh my goodness, you've lost a big three. And I look at the money that that guy made on top of just being able to knock down a bunch of threes. I know it does more than that, but to reduce it, it has nothing to do with that. Now, how you defend Phoenix and how Minnesota can play the Suns. There's far less threat from outside. You can take more risks. We have seen Minnesota dominate Phoenix. I'm taking them on the money line. Just give me the Suns. You know what? Let me check that here. I may push this. It's -1.5. It's already moved off one. Not the biggest key number by any means, but you can see where it's kind of moving right now. I just don't know how Minnesota lets up. And as talented as the Phoenix Suns should be, and as good as they are on paper, the reality is Minnesota's pushed them around. And Minnesota has owned the middle. You can look at points in the paint. You can look at points differential down low. You could just look at what is happening from a defensive standpoint with Cat and with Rudy, just with what they're able to do. And by the way, they have a prolific scorer as well, who was just held like everybody was held in that ridiculous game in which Jaden McDaniels led the team in scoring. Shout out to anybody here or GoldBoys who had that ticket. My goodness. But Minnesota right now, too young to know better, definitely momentum. There is a sense of accomplishment by knocking a guy like Kevin Durant out of the postseason. This is it. And as much as we like to point to teams that are down big in holes in the playoffs and say, well, now or never, all that, Phoenix is dead. Phoenix is cooked. And Minnesota is just the better overall squad right now. So that's the ticket. When you start to look at over 216.5 on DraftKings, get a really good break there. That's starting to move 217 at a couple of books. And the other side of this is just looking at what's been working in this series with the Suns and the Wolves. And Minnesota would essentially have to take a night off. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. But the point differential and just the depth up front is hard to ignore. This is a bad one for Kevin Durant as well. You want to talk legacy, history down the line here. This Phoenix Suns team is a colossal failure. And let's be honest with ourselves, where they are right now, trailing in this series, it's over, folks. They're down 0-3. They get swept. They get swept. And that's a horrific ending. And look, Minnesota's probably going to be a tough opponent moving forward. We'll see how long this run actually lasts. But they're also new. And we saw this with Memphis. We're probably going to see it with Oklahoma City, too, when they go up against another squad. It's probably just going to be whenever everybody faces Denver. But this is a bad one. Absolutely a bad one for Durant. And that's how it ends. Plus 267 is our NBA parlay of the day here. All right. I'll be back a couple days a week. So if you can subscribe to the GoldBoys YouTube channel, that would be fantastic here. All of these free videos, these free content. What are we asking in return, right? You hit the thumbs up button and you subscribe to our community. You want to leave some comments, that's fine. It's always nice to get the keyboard fingers ready and stretched out before you hit Twitter and really have to battle some people. It's all love here. Let's smash a parlay. Again, at Shander Bets is how you follow me. You can follow me on Pick It as well, at Shander Show. GoldBoys.com, oddshopper.com. We'll see you Tuesday.